So first, my name is Wael Al Saad. Um, I am born as Palestinian, and I've been born in the conflict between Israel and Palestine, and all of this kind of issue. I left after school to Germany for studying. As Palestinian, you keep connected to your cause because it is part of you. You are carrying it since birth. You are a human without a state, without and um, I the connection to permaculture is difficult because it is part of my life story as Palestinian, searching for solutions to connect my people around the world. And as permaculture is all about relationships, I found this is the best concept if we develop new alternatives for the market where we Palestinians are unified through permaculture and other relevant technique. Uh, and here was the point where I started to work with Marda Permaculture Farm with my partner there, Murad Al to develop his model of the permaculture farm. You know, it just I brought in the situation as Palestinian to think about what does it mean to be Palestinian and who I am. So it is not like, you know, like any person who is born in like straight society with a state and something like that. So it is different. So I've been going always through this question, who I am as a Palestinian, and so because I left Palestine, I was on my own. So in Germany, I had the chance to get in touch with new people, new cultures, and I have always discover something new. And at a certain point, I think in us as a human, the whole creation is moving. So if we keep going, if we keep opening our horizon, and so it was, I didn't choose to be Palestinian, but that fact brought me to be a universal human, not only a Palestinian, and to see that we are all interconnected and everything is connected, and we are suffering, especially as Palestinian, of the post-colonial era of our history, while the humanity is emerging to something new. And all of this has meaning for me as Palestinian because we have an issue as a nation, and I believe this issue cannot be solved with the missionism has created it, which is colonialism and partisan and the elite who is trying to have executive position on power and acting on others. So, and here we have something common with the new humanity. So I began also to think as Palestinian, which are the universal trajectories which can really affect my status as Palestinian, and develop or design solutions fits to the new humanity rather than the old world where the most of people are suffering.
Okay. I mean, this sounds like it might be taking us towards the global green Palestine writings and concept that you've been working on. Is this a connection?
Yeah. This is actually a connection. All what I said right now, I was searching for like, okay, how can we translate like visionary thoughts into practice? And the concept of global green Palestine is about the question: how can we connect Palestinians between each other, even half of them are displaced. They are no more living in their original land. So through the creation of Israel, most of Palestinian has left the country because of the war, because they have been displaced, and so on. So we are spread around the world. And through this fragmentation, geographical fragmentation, and we have 3 generations of people around the world in different countries who gain very diverse cultural backgrounds. So to be Palestinian as a collective is actually like a focus of the majority of humanity, because we are like everywhere, but we are still Palestinians. So you can't say Palestinians are like that or like that. So we are very different, but we still Palestinian. 3 generations living in the diaspora. And so what can be the connection between these different people? So we have very different politics from the left to the right, and politics in terms of traditional politics, which is based on who want to lead the people, and has been is a negative, has been, especially in the last years, through the fragmentation between like Fatah and Hamas and Sora, brought us from each other. So I have been thinking about how can we meet together, and for me the key was like, hey, you have the free market, so everyone need a job, and so we need sustainable green jobs, like with a common trademark that we all can share, but on the same level of like being having justice, what we are claiming, like social equality, direct ownership to what we are doing, so that we are really equal, as we are suffering from inequality between us and Israelis. And so what we can be the change we want to be through a certain concept, through the markets, through the economy, because everyone needs a job, everyone has a job. So if we want to be unified, so we can go for this paradigm, the greening the planet, greening our land, developing economy in sustainable way. So we are within the universal trajectories, because now all world is shouting what we are doing with each other, what we are doing with the planet. And so I'm that was my answer about all of these questions. And especially Palestinians, they never had their own like state or now, and they brought to the situation that everyone is leading his cause by himself, and we are all like leaders. There is like tons of presidents and great minister. The electronic Palestinian parliament can hold millions of people, so around the world. So we cannot bring all this dynamic into the traditional politics of having an elite of leaders from a certain party. It will not work. This will keep us fragmented. So we need to implement economy and a lot of IT solutions to develop a new body which works through green economy.